Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let's see if we can turn down some of this music. If you're looking for some good flying music with DCS, go on Spotify and check out Net Zone. He's got a pretty good soundtrack. It's actually for Ace Combat 7, the new one that just came out not too long ago. Well, I guess it's been a little over a year ago, but anyway, it's a good little soundtrack. I think there's let's see, there's 20 songs on there. Um, I like to listen to it while I'm flying about on DCS. Alright, so basically this video is going to be kind of a tutorial slash show you what I do with Pilotedge and DCS whenever I fly with both of those. So let's see here. Trying to get this to where you guys can see all of the screen. Maybe. I don't know why it's not showing the full screen. Hmm. Let's see. Hit the screen. There we go. That was it. All right, cool. So we got that going. All right, so this is the main mission. All these like red targets and stuff I added. But all these like little dots and stuff are ones that are waypoints, and I think they're technically like IPs in the mission editor. But once they're there, you can move them around. But I would suggest not doing that because you can add these actually as a flight plan, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. But the good thing about all these is they all line up with fixes or nav points that you can actually find on SkyVector. So one that I always fly is the Fighter 5 departure, which luckily it only has this one point fighter out here. But if you look on the sectional, or not sectional, the actual chart for the Fighter 5, you've got FYTTR out here. So you can actually put that into your CDU or FMS or whatever you want to call it, and it'll actually show up on your HUD and on your TAD in the A10. It'll actually show up there. And I haven't done a whole lot of testing with the GNS 430 that's in DCS, but if I remember right, all these waypoints you're able to actually input on that as well. So like the Huey, the F5, the Mirage 2000, all those you can use the pop-up NS 430, and you can actually add these in there as well. With like let's look at, I know the Dream 6 departure has a few. So if we were to scroll in, oh my goodness, you guys can't even see any of this. Whoops. Hey, there we go. All right. So if we were to look at the Dream 6, all right, you didn't miss much with the Fighter 5 because there's only one one little nav fix in there. But with this one, you can see there's actually quite a bit. So you've got Herem, Herem. You've got Adalf there. You've got Juno, Mint, Dream. All of these fixes you can actually find in in the. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it like that. all right, you can actually find in here. So if we scroll in and follow this up here, there's Hiram and there's Adalf, and then just like in the procedure, you fly north, and there's Juno, there's Mint, and there's Dream. So Dream, Juno, Harem, Adolf, and then if you look here, same thing. So one thing you got to be kind of careful with that I found is the DCS map isn't necessarily correct because, and this is going to get into like all kinds of like magnetic theory and like all this other stuff, but like with the way that the actual Earth is curved and turned, you have like here the 349 radial, right? It's not going to be exactly like that. Watch it actually be like that. But it's not going to be exactly like that. I've found um, in the mission editor. So it says it should be 340 at what was it? What was meant? 38. So 38 miles, but the magnetic variation's off a little bit. It says it's at 38 miles at 3 degrees. So I think this has to do with, in DCS, the world's flat, and in real world, you have the curvature of the Earth, and north isn't exactly up, whereas here, north is straight up. So little things like that you have to kind of watch out for. But one thing I have found is that when you're flying around, like Flex is supposed to be like 334, I think, at 4, and I adjusted this one around or 335 at 4. That's what it is. That one is on the A10 tack departure, where basically you take off runway 3, either left or right, and then once you get on the east side of the racetrack, you kind of make a left turn, intercept the 335 at 4 from from the Nellis TACAN. So little things like that. But it is nice. Like yesterday, I did a flight, and I flew over here. I was messing around in the some of the MOAs. I think it's a Soshone MOA. Yeah, I was messing around over here, and on my way back, the controller gave me the strike recovery, and I was like, I don't know that. So, and I can post a link to it's the 2012, I think. 2012 or 2014 red flag like in-flight guide that I found on Google, and I can share that if you guys would like. But it actually has the strike recovery in there, and so luckily I remembered seeing it. I just don't remember the procedure, so I was frantically thumbing through that whole thing, and then I found the strike recovery, and basically it's you fly direct to strike, and then fly 080 all the way until you get to apex, which is right here. Let me see if I can fix. Yep, over here to apex. And then once you get to apex, you just fly the visual straight in for runway 21 left. So it was super nice to even have those in there, and I was able to actually input those into the flight plan, have them come up on my HUD, on my TAD, and actually see them on the map. It was super helpful. And little things like that you can plan for. I'm working on a different map that includes all of these waypoints and stuff. And it's a CSAR mission that's out here in the Elgin and the Sally corridor. And basically follow a Dream 6 flight plan or the A10 TAC North departure, and you can hit up one of these fixes, actually put that into the waypoint or into your flight plan, and you can see that on the map of your TAD or whatever you got. So super helpful. This mission, like I said, this mission file came from in the description. I'll post it in there if it's not already, but it's from the 476 Virtual Fighter Group. They have a ton of information out there for the A10s, the F-18s. I think they're even doing the F-16s now. I don't know. It's been a while since I've checked there, but they've got a lot of good resources. They've even come up with like their own version of like a 3-1 where it's like everything you need to know about the DCS A10. So super helpful. I love that about DCS is that you can, I don't know, make it as real as possible. And then out here in these ranges, these are some of the things that I've added. I just made some like bombing ranges, and then over here some more bombing ranges, just to give me something to do while I'm flying out. And like I said, when I'm on Pilotedge, I usually do the Fighter 5 just because it's simple and it's an easy direct out of the class Bravo, and you're kind of out of everybody's way. Um, I'm looking at the things I wanted to talk about. So with DCS, I've talked with Keith a lot from Pilotedge about, there's really not that much of a community of people who fly DCS with Pilotedge, and that's kind of a good and bad thing. It's bad because there's a lot of work that went into making Pilotedge work with DCS, and I'm super thankful that they still let us use it. um, because there's not a whole lot of people who actually fly it. There was about a year and 3 months where I was the only person that flew from, I think it was like October of 2018 to like November of last year. So like, it went a long time between people even filing a flight plan for an A10. So now, granted, I know that somebody could have flown the F5 or something like that, and could have flown without a flight plan. They could have just taken off VFR or whatever. Um, but as far as like pilotage goes, it's not geared toward military operations, and so that has been clear. Keith has made sure that's been clear for a while. And when I first got Pilotedge back in like 2017 or early 2018, um, he talked to me, or I was able to talk to him about DCS, and we kind of had a little conversation about it. And there's really no plans to grow the modules for DCS for Pilotedge. Just because one, there's way too much work involved and not enough payout. You don't have people just wanting to come to Pilotedge for DCS, and that's totally cool. Like, DCS obviously isn't the target group for Pilotedge, but it is nice to kind of have that added ability with Pilotedge. Um, let's see, what else was I gonna say? For most of my missions, I stay out of civilian traffic. So like if I'm gonna fly, I do something up here in the MOAs or over here, just because some of the I ratings and stuff have people coming up through here to Las Vegas, and the last thing that I want is for me to somehow interfere with somebody else's uh, either I ratings or FS economy flights or something like that, just because I'm flying an A10 or whatever. Not saying that it will, but I just don't want that possibility. And if I'm out here in a range somewhere, the controllers can kind of just forget about me and not have to worry about me until I'm coming back into Nellis, which is again, that's part of the reason why there's really not that big of a group for DCS and Pilotedge, just because most people are doing like FS economy or that kind of stuff, and with DCS it's all either going out here to the range or doing something like that. So I've never once flown into McCarran or North Vegas or Henderson. I've never once flown into any of those airports. I've done Creech and Tonopah up here. And like I said, all these markers go to some kind of an approach or departure out of Tonopah or Silverbow or however you want to whatever you want to call it. But generally, I stay out of those areas. And from what I've heard from other controllers is that with DCS, it's kind of a scripted thing because it's not really in Pilotedge's SOP to run military operations. Um, and so when you do like a Fighter 5 or the Dream 6 or the A-10 TAC departure, once you get outside of that class Bravo, unless you're on an IFR flight plan, you can pretty much expect to get handed, the frequency change and squawk and maintain VFR after that. Only because what else are they going to do with you? They're not going to keep you for flight following unless you specifically request it. But most of the time, if I'm flying the A-10 TAC departure, which the one I was talking about where you basically go out here, hit flex, and then you're outside of that class Bravo at that point, and you remain outside of it. Once you're out there, I'm going straight to the range. So there's really not much that they can do for me. When I first started flying Pilotedge, and it was just kind of like a one-off thing. It wasn't busy. I think there was one or two other people on the network at the time, down in like the ZLA area. And it was kind of cool. I did the Fighter 5 departure, got to Fighter, and usually I cancel my IFR when I'm at Fighter, and I just head north and fly over Indian Springs at like 14 to 17,000 feet. And when I got past Fighter, I'd already turned and was trying to intercept the Indian Springs VOR, or is it TACAN? That's TACAN. Anyways, when I was trying to intercept that, the controller actually was like, "Hey, you're cleared into the Romeo 4806 West airspace for 030 minutes," and to me that was kind of cool. It kind of added like that little extra immersion. I knew there was nothing they were really doing behind the scenes. I don't know if maybe they had like a timer set of like, hey, we're gonna watch this guy for 30 minutes and make sure he comes out at 30 minutes, whatever. But it was a really cool experience to get that like clearance into the restricted airspace. And a lot of that stuff is just based on, I think, how busy the network is. And if any of this is wrong, I'm sure Keith or Kevin or any of the guys at Pilotedge, they can help kind of set the record straight if I'm messing this up. But from my own experience, DCS is like at the bottom of the tier when it comes to, let's see, I don't want to say, what am I trying to say? I don't want to say that they don't care about DCS players because they do, but like it's not their main priority. Military operations is not their priority. So it's just kind of like if you know what you're doing, if you know how to talk to ATC, you know how to get IFR, you know how to do all that stuff. Pilotedge with DCS works because it's just like anything else. And a lot of people don't really know the military, lingo or talk or any of that stuff. So if you're just looking to get an IFR plan out of Nellis and go to Silverbow or Tonopah test range or Indian Springs or anything like that, then it's totally fine. But don't expect to get a lot of clearance or like all this other stuff for the ranges and things like that. If they give it to you, awesome. If not, oh well. And that's kind of the reason why I'm trying to get this mission up and going, because I'm trying to make it to where once you get to Fighter, you can do a check-in with the Nellis controller, which will be on a separate frequency, and then it'll be kind of like a radio menu. If you're familiar with DCS, it'll give you like a radio menu, and then an audio will play where you basically say, like whatever your call sign is based on what you've put into the mission, you're cleared into blah 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 blah, Romeo 4806 West, and then after that, then you can cancel your IFR into the Nellis test range and blah blah blah. So this is my mission. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, but the cool thing is you're able to add all these waypoints in as a flight plan. So let's hop in to the mission, and I'm just going to show you guys kind of what I do whenever I insert the flight plan, what that looks like, and just so you can kind of see how all that looks. And for some reason, OBS looks like it went back. There we go. Maybe that'll help. It did help. Sweet. Oh, and I've got this set to like super early in the morning. But I'll go blue, and this one is already set to hot start. So hello. Let's turn down some of that audio, just because we don't need all that. All right, so we're in the cockpit. Everything's started up. What I do first when I'm sitting on the ramp, before I've called up clearance or anything like that. I don't know why that's doing that. Ugh. What I do before I do anything else is I get my flight plan started. So you're on the waypoint screen in the A10. And first thing I do is go to function and then flight plan management. So it's going to bring you to this screen. You can also do that all from here. And I do not know why I'm getting that weird flickering. Well, that's not good. What is causing that? Oh boy. Ugh. It's like when I try to move. That's not good. Hmm. All right. Oh boy. Can I just slide that over? Nope. Okay. Well, I guess that's gonna end it here. Because for some reason it's being all jittery. So I guess I'm gonna end the stream here. But anyways, you get to look at my map and see kind of what I'm working with as far as that stuff goes. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on either Discord or comments in this channel. I'd love to answer any questions. If you got questions about some of the departures and stuff like that, feel free to hit me up. I've been flying those for quite a while now, and they're basically just like any other departure. Where, let's see, where is it at? I'll post the red flag in-flight guide with all the departures and all that stuff in the Discord there for you guys to use on Pilotedge if you guys are in there. That way you guys can see that stuff. But other than that, I think this is going to do it for me, and I'm going to try to record a video showing how to input the flight plan into the A10. That way you guys can see that as well. But I think that's going to do it for me here, guys. We'll holler at you later. See ya.